What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ace. Another video today. We're going to be checking out Swagkage could Minato beat Hashirama. Now, quick disclaimer, this video is sped up to 1.5 or 1.25. I'm not going to do this with all videos, but just typically videos that have a little bit longer than like 20 minutes or 17 minutes. Just because with my commentary added to the mix versus like the actual editing of their videos, it's just going to be like a whole half hour to 45-minute video by the time I'm ending it. Now, if it's quick 10-minute videos of Swagkage or other reactions, I'm not going to like speed it up. Plus the speed up, you can't even tell that much difference from the original audio. So just a quick disclaimer there. But nonetheless, let's get into the video. This is, real quick, before we actually get into that, my thoughts initially. Minato is one of my favorite characters. He's one of my all-time like best characters. He's super OP, stronger than Itachi, stronger than Orochimaru, stronger than a bunch of whole out of the ninjas. Like, if you've seen my channel, if you've been following me for a while, you know that Minato, Pain, Hashirama are like my top favorite. Shinobi and all of Naruto. But yeah, definitely the order goes Hashirama, Minato, Pain. Like, there's no debate about it. But I'm curious to see what they say, like what kind of feats Minato could have to actually stand up against the god of Shinobi. But no, I mean, this is the guy that was clapping Madara like numerous times in their altercations in the past. So I really don't think there's anything Minato could do. It's kind of like a matchup between Orochimaru versus someone like Minato. One is super strong, another one is just that much stronger. So you can't really argue it. So Minato's not really going to put up much of a fight with Hashirama. But I think Hashirama would be impressed with his overall ability, his intellect, his quickness, his adaptability, just overall good leader in general. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, trigger those bells, and let's go.
How's it going, everybody? Swagkage here, and today, Seth's here, and in addition to him, we've got a newcomer. Everybody welcome my boy 6.
By the way, let me know what you guys think of like the whole reaction with the sped up videos. If you want it to be like slower and original audio, I'm kind of like testing some things out. So if you don't like the sped up video, then I'll make it to the original audio. I just need some feedback on there. So it's we'll do 1.25, so it's not too fast, but not too slow either.
Hi, I'm 6.
Six knows a lot about Naruto.
Yeah, bro, he's really cool. You should check out his channel, which will be linked in the description, so no excuses. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Minato versus Hashirama. Now, let's, before we say anything, all of us are in agreement. Hashirama probably wins the fight.
Probably,
but
bro.
Six and I like Minato like a lot.
Same here.
And Seth is always down to play devil's advocate. So throughout this video, we're going to be providing arguments for how maybe Minato could win the fight.
Here's a good hypothetical way to put it, right? It's like, you remember that scene where Orochimaru was trying to summon all the Hokage, and then Hiruzen sees the fourth Hokage, he's like, oh hell no!
Yeah.
Like I said, the fourth Hokage is OP, so there's a lot of like, no one wants to mess with him really.
The third would rise up no matter what.
The other two are fine, but not that one. So maybe we're gonna try to create a case for why could Hiruzen maybe be scared. It's not gonna be objectively right. Maybe you guys down below could point out some flaws in the argument. It's just gonna be, we're gonna try to make up whatever we can to see if we get Minato to win.
So first of all, let's get all the Minato downplay out of the way. One of the most obnoxious things is people like to point out the data book statement where A has like in his lightning cloak or like speed on par with the yellow flash. Now this is just obviously not true.
I mean, you could just say the yellow flash is like what people knew during the war.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Hokage, he got a bit stronger or something, and people didn't know about that. Also, it's kind of a weird statement as well because the fourth Raikage says, now that he's dead, I'm the fastest.
Yeah, exactly.
That, like, it was contentious even to him to think that. Like, he probably implies
And that was like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Their encounter was like 21 years ago. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
4 years later, 5, Minato dies. Minato's this guy with unparalleled talent. His shinobi is or his capacity as a shinobi is just unmatched. So it's not out the realm of possibility that in those 4 years, he just got so much faster that Raikage could never catch up to him.
It's not like Minato was like getting rusty, like say like Part 1 Kakashi in the Land of Wisdom. That dude was literally solo stomping wars. Like he was not getting rusty.
There was a flea on sight order for this guy.
And I believe that physical activity and fighting a lot actually does increase your power in Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually makes a statement to imply that when he's training Casey and Naruto, he says that fighting always teaches more than training. And it's like a shortcut to powering up. So yeah, Minato definitely could have just got so much faster. Raikage is just can't fuck with him.
Yeah, and the other one. Now, this isn't necessarily Minato downplay so much as it is like it's.
I want to point this out. This kind of like explains a whole lot with like in general life. Like the more you do something physically versus like training and like talking about it or studying, the more you're gonna learn and adapt better. This is just like with even in real life, on the job training is gonna be a whole lot better than actually researching it, studying, blah blah blah. This is why like on the job training triumphs over school or education work, if you will, for that particular field. In my personal opinion, obviously it's important to have your own educational part to it, but the actual action and practicing and like shadowing over is always going to be a little bit better. So it would make sense that like these guys, even though they were studying, training, having actual real life battles, tragedies, growing up fast, all that good stuff. Not good, but you know what I mean. All that stuff boosted their ninja ability to become like the best version that they could be for future fights.
It's kind of relevant to this fight. Don, Tsunade's dead boyfriend, says that the only person who could ever stop Madara is Hashirama. And I've seen this brought up a little bit, not like a ton. Like
Even Hashirama
But
said
this
that.
is just like
Oh no,
not-
even
this
Madara
isn't
said
relevant
that.
at all because Don died during the Second War before Minato was famous. And he's also just a random. Like he has like no authority on the topic. At all. I was like giving Six an analogy a while back. I think it was either yesterday or the day before when we were talking about this. And it would be like if I said the only person who could stop Jonah Hill was Adam Sandler. It would be totally
the
meaningless. It's kind of the same thing with what Don's saying here, right? Like first of all, he doesn't really know who Minato is, and the other thing is that he was literally dating Hashirama's granddaughter. So there may be a little bit of bias there. It's hard to call the statement concrete or definitive or say that it really is like indicative of anything as far as this fight is concerned, though.
There's also the Kabuto statement. So I mean, the Kabuto statement, if I recall correctly, just says vaguely no one alive should be able to.
Yeah, that like back during the war arc, there was so much praise to Hashirama. You guys should see. There's a part in the war arc where Madara is basically fighting the Kage, and he starts like praising Madara. Oh no, sorry, he starts praising Hashirama. The reason, seeing like someone so OP and up there, praising another person like that, because basically, yeah, Hashirama was like the best of the best. No one could top him. No one could beat him. No one could definitively be better than him.
Hashirama.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it doesn't say like in all of history or anything.
And it's also a pretty specific caveat too. Like no one currently alive.
Yeah, and I can debunk one thing real quick.
Yeah.
So there's the third Hokage is the strongest Hokage thing.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this a lot. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We don't even need to debunk it or anything. We can really just say even if
Yo, real quick, people, don't listen to my videos when you with headphones. Make sure you put it. I don't know how loud I mean, Swagkage sounds loud as hell, but then like if I lower the volume, then Six's voice is really soft. So I don't know if they got like different microphones and they're just all blending in their audio recordings to the video. But yeah, R.I.P. headphone users. Just be aware of that.
Hokage was the strongest Hokage, it doesn't mean that Hashirama beats Minato.
Yeah, like those are unrelated. Oh wait, actually, the biggest downplay ever is the Tobirama is faster than Minato stuff because of like what happens during the Jubito fight. The Tobirama being faster than Minato thing is just like blatantly false because Tobirama comments on Minato's speed, calling his Shunshin better than his own.
Yeah.
Minato gets to the battlefield before any of the Hokage do, and you can assume that they were all traveling at full speed. I feel like that is a safe assumption to make. The only way that you can argue that Tobirama was faster than Minato is by taking this like out of context scene. The reason why it's not really fair to use it is because Minato was clearly like mega nerfed by how surprised he was to see Obito was the person who attacked the Leaf Village. Like,
Pretty
this
much.
really messed him up.
Yeah, the data book goes over this. It says that like seeing Obito change in appearance and finding out that he was the one who attacked the village put Minato in a sort of like stupor or dazed phase. We know that in Naruto you can get mental nerves and amps. So if Minato's faster than Tobirama in base, and then Tobirama
Facts. That's something we don't even think about quite often, but it happens a lot. It's kind of shitty, but like when Kakashi found out that Obito was alive, he kind of like was really fucked for like a good 10 minutes of the fight. Like Bushibra or my guy was like, yo, get your head back in the game. Like we can't continue like in sentimentality thinking about your old comrade. Like we gotta fight. Your subordinate Naruto's in the fight. Let's go help him out. And like Kakashi just couldn't get his head around it. Like, dude, this guy literally is alive and he never came forward. Like I thought you were dead all my life. So absolutely I can see how Minato would be in the same like mental nerf situation.
starts to be faster than KCM Minato. well then you can just say the nerf is like a KCM level nerf.
Yeah, it's like massive.
Also, to bring up some like feats here, I think that are interesting. I was just thinking about it. Is that I think for one, like, okay, so you have Hashirama, he's like fighting off like Madara and the Nine Tails, and just he's like running away from it, and then he's able to kind of like stalemate Madara almost at the very end. He wins, but it's like almost a stalemate, right?
Yeah.
But something that's interesting is that you have Minato, who's now nerfed, right? He's nerfed in an Edo state. Not only does he get to the battlefield before Hashirama, but he's actually able to like get in between a Ten Tails Bijou bomb and is able to teleport it like across the ocean.
Again, nerfed.
Before any of the Hokage arrive. So, which it's like, could he literally teleport anything that Madara could have thrown at him as well? Probably very likely, which is really interesting, I think.
So the number one thing that is easiest to argue goes to Minato is speed, because his whole
Oh,
thing
God,
is that
bro.
it's fast, and he has a lot of.
Hold up, I'm confused. What are they talking about here? Are they talking like? I guess this should have been cleared up at the beginning. Are they talking Edo Madara versus Edo Minato? Or are they talking regular Minato versus like which stage of Madara? Like Six Pass, Rinnegan Madara, Sharingan Madara, like Valley of the End Madara? Like, bro, which one? They haven't gotten to that part yet because basically, like to their comment earlier, Madara just throws a bunch of shit at Minato. Minato will teleport sealing jutsu them away, but like as we saw in his fight against the Nine Tails, like it took a bunch of his chakra to do that, and especially with heavy attacks. So I don't know if he can keep that out for long. But if he's in Edo state, then he can do it forever, and then now we have a matchup. But I just need to know like what stage are they fighting against each other? What state, I should say.
The craziest one is when he gets in between Ten Tails Madara and 8th Guy and just like
Tanks
works back out. Like,
the
he
truth
has, like,
seeking
6
orbs.
pads level reaction speed.
In the anime, this is insane.
Yeah.
In the anime, guy in the True Seeker orbs are like moving in slow motion in comparison to Minato.
If we use the anime, you don't even really need to take Devil's Advocate anymore for Minato to win, because like there's the whole statement of the Flying Raijin surpassing the concepts of like space, time, and like distance or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's basically like an outer versal like teleportation, right? So when this happens, Minato's teleporting like completely ignoring space and time, like the concept of space and time. Yet in the anime, he's shown taking off Naruto's blanket while completely negating time itself, and then flying into a cabin to survive.
Yo, chill.
So in the anime, he's kind of a bad dude, but in the manga, maybe it has to be a little bit different, you know?
Yeah.
So what does Hashirama do against Minato's like outer versal irrelevant speed kunai, like summon a tree?
Now obviously,
Bro, what the fuck? This is like, yo, why did I think this was Madara? Whatever. Okay, everything I said, my bad, bro. I'm literally thinking of the original video I made. So my previous statements reflect that to transition to Hashirama. I think it's maybe because one of them said Madara in the video. I think I got mixed up. Anyways, still the same shit. I need to know which one this is. Is this Edo Hashirama? Is this regular Hashirama? Is this fucking Valley of the End Hashirama versus Minato? I'm trying to figure out like which is which.
if you stick on manga only, it's not quite that clear cut in Minato's favor. But the Jubidara Might Guy feat is still pretty impressive, and it should put his reaction speed on a level where he's perfectly capable of reacting to and teleporting away from anything that Hashirama throws at him. The tough thing is, what does Minato do after that? Like, how does he actually damage Hashirama? The guy has, he fought Madara and was like deflecting Biju bombs and stuff, and he also has regeneration. So he should be pretty durable. But Six and I were talking about this. I actually don't remember if we got Seth's opinion on this before the video, but if I'm recalling correctly, now anybody in the comments, feel free to correct us, but I'm pretty sure Hashirama doesn't have any like crazy durability feats like with his own body, right?
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He really tanks anything with his own body, and then in the data book, or data book 4 in specific, it says that the reason Hashirama is known as the strongest is because of his wood style, and that's what he uses to like deflect Biju bombs and whatnot. So you can make the case that his body is just not that powerful, and it's all in the jutsu.
I want to disagree with that because there is, I think it was on my last video basically. It was, so if you guys want to check it out, I actually did a video reaction. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was, it was something, does Madara 6 pass versus the Boruto Kage, and there's basically a section where they talk about, I think it's Seth the Programmer and Six, those two guys, they talk about how they think that Madara was basically stronger than Hashirama, which is not the case. I don't believe so. and they basically said the whole reason why they were each other on par was because Hashirama actually tanked a bunch of the fights and was able to regenerate and heal. So that's how he was able to like stay on with Madara. He didn't necessarily he wasn't necessarily stronger, but he was able to last as long as he did because he could regenerate. So make sure you check that video for a little bit more context on that. But basically, that's what I think as well. I don't think he was weaker than Madara, but Hashirama did take a lot of hits, if he ever did, from strong enemies, and he was able to heal. So his body was able to tank a bunch of stuff. That's how I assume he was able to find out how his regeneration abilities work, how far he can take it, etc., etc. So durability feats, I don't agree with that as far as what they're saying. Motherfucker was hella strong.
So yeah, I would say personally that it would be a little bit weird. I think I brought this up, but I think it's a little bit weird if like his body was made out of paper machine. Like I feel like Madara would just be like, okay, if I hit him, I can like turn him into ash or something. Like, I think he has some.
My bad, guys. I'm just getting over a cold right now.
Durability.
Sure, right, but like
I can agree that it might be hard to quantify, right?
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to say that like he's on like the same level. I mean, like you could argue this if you wanted to, but it's hard to say it's definitive that he's on the level of the attacks that he's deflecting with his like giant wood hands.
Okay.
Yeah, he's using those wood hands for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see how a lot of people would say maybe Hashirama scales to Madara in durability or something like that, but there's actually a bit to imply, or something to imply that Madara was actually just beating up Hashirama in their fight and he kept healing. We get a flashback from the 9 tail or from the 9 tails where Hashirama's talking to him in the middle of the fight with Madara, and we see that Hashirama's like severely battle damaged, like he's beat to the point where his eyes closed, maybe it's even cut out, I don't know, because Hashirama can heal organs. His forehead's bleeding, his mouth is bleeding, but then we see at the end of the Madara fight, the damage he has doesn't resemble that. So there's something to say like Madara was like actually beating him up, and Hashirama was just healing from all of the attacks.
It could be kind of similar to like imagine Naruto versus Sasuke, right? Like when you actually see those Naruto versus Sasuke fights, like if Naruto didn't regen, he would die so many times. Like there's that one
Pretty
scene
much.
where Sasuke like ripped out his lung. There was that, in the anime, like when they were fighting in Six Paths, like he like impaled him through the spine with like an Amaterasu spear that would have killed any normal person. Like there's like a lot of instances where like Sasuke blatantly like rips through Naruto with his regen, like kind of saves him a bit. Not to say that Sasuke is stronger than Naruto in Six Paths, but just as an example, like Madara could literally just be doing that to Hashirama and we wouldn't really know, right? So
yeah, Madara also is like heavily respects that healing.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he makes Hashirama the ultimate shinobi, so he probably had like a pretty tough time with it.
I think this actually segues into another Minato downplay, and there's like this like weird like meta or whatever where people think that Minato has like no stamina. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Yeah, because of the Obito fight. Yeah.
Not even the Obito fight, but also because of the war as well, which I think is like kind of disingenuous, right? Because I think Minato's like most stamina draining attacks are obviously like the flying Raijin barrier and like teleporting like massive things. Like he makes that very clear. But people act like he can only like use flying Raijin normally like 6 times. It's so disingenuous. They also think that because he teleported like the Shinobi Alliance, that it's like he has no stamina as well. But it's like he's teleporting like
Bro, these are terrible examples. Yeah, I agree with them. These are terrible examples because every time that he shows him being like out of breath is when he's doing like near impossible feats, like teleporting like over 300 plus. I don't know how many this Shinobi Alliance there were, but like by the time they got to the versus Madara fight, there was like still I think over 500 Shinobi. So that's a huge feat to teleport all those big ass motherfuckers out of the barrier outside, and then even like the Jinchuriki, like the Ateos, Killer Bee, and all them. Whole lot of chakra to be used.
like tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, it's like the whole world's military.
Yeah, so obviously like ripping a hole.
So it might have been more than 500 based on that statement right there, but you get what I mean.
Like space time that probably ignores the concepts of space and time and stuff. Probably takes a bit of chakra, you know. Like it's not like Minato was just like dashing around Obito trying to slash him over and over. That's why he got tired, right? There's like a lot of things leading up to it. He also used like extremely advanced like sealing jutsu as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think versus Hashirama he would really use that barrier unless he's trying to like teleport away the entire Buddha statue.
Well, that would be really funny. I also brought this up. Like, imagine like the Buddha statue like goes to like punch Minato, and then it's just gone.
I can definitely see like people saying, okay, I don't think Minato has the stamina for that, right? Because if the
Yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
agree.
That statue, which dwarfs the 9 tails, is probably a little bit out of it.
I agree.
I think it's disingenuous to say as well, like if you give Minato speed, is that the golem or the Buddha statue would ever be even remotely effective, because like you would say, okay, well Hashirama is trying to like attack in that range, but wouldn't it be in character for Minato to place a seal on Hashirama to be able to teleport to him at any time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He does it like every time he fights someone.
So like imagine like
So I will say this, my only like thought process of how Minato could actually land a blow, not necessarily defeat him, but actually land a blow on Hashirama. So it would be like this. Yes, what they're saying is land the seal on Hashirama at some point, and we feel like it would happen because Minato's really, really fast, faster than I think most of the shinobi alive or in Naruto. And then somehow, I don't think this is ever shown in the anime or manga, but somehow adapt to do kind of like the flying Raijin that the second Hokage does. As an example, there's a scene in the war arc where Minato's fighting Obito, and then Obito plants like a bomb on Minato. Cue the clip here.
どうかないつの間にそうか俺につけて一緒に早めに返して
And then obviously, as you can see, Tobirama comes in, teleports the bomb with him, and then teleports it back to Obito, and he says like, here, you can have this back. So even though Minato's never shown to do something like that, because he teleports himself or objects, physical objects like living body parts or stuff like that, he hasn't shown to be actually teleporting like a jutsu with them, if you will, like someone else's jutsu. I feel like he can do that, just like how Kakashi wasn't ever using Kamui on himself, but then he all of a sudden learned how to do it because he saw Obito doing it. I feel like he could do that. So if there's some sort of like jutsu or ability, like let's say ninjutsu that Hashirama throws at Minato, he can all of a sudden teleport that right back at Hashirama, point blank distance. Boom. Hashirama's fuck, I can't make my wording. Hashirama's distracted and also like in craze based on what happened. At that point, Minato is looking at doing like a sealing jutsu, and which we know Minato does bomb ass sealing jutsus because he's married to an Uzumaki or has a kid with an Uzumaki. So basically, we know that he has some super like OP sealing jutsus. At that point, he could seal and detain Hashirama. I don't know for the dub, and I don't know for how long, but that's one way I see Minato actually standing a chance against Hashirama. So basically, that's the only way I can see it. Nonetheless, though, very good discussion from both of them. I just don't see like Hashirama staying down for long, or if Minato were to win, it'd be like a high diff, like super high diff, like all the stars would have to be aligned, like he'd have to get some help from everyone, just like Naruto versus Pain, everyone helping him out and all that stuff. But nonetheless,
they're like standing like, even like a mile apart, and just huge statues come punch him. You just teleport onto Hashirama. Like, it would be kind of
exactly. There's also something with the flying Raijin barrier that y'all were talking about where Minato actually redirects those attacks where he wants them to go. Like he says that when he's redirecting the Nine-Tails Fuji Bomb. So it's possible that like Hashirama like tries to hit him with 1,000 hands and he just puts it back on him and he hits himself.
all right.
himself in the back or something.
Yeah, and since we've already established that it's possible that Hashirama's durability may not scale to that of his wood constructs, it's possible that like 1,000 hands or like a wood golem punching him could like really fuck him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's debatable, but you know.
Let's hear Swag's
Yeah,
ultimate.
yeah. My favorite win condition is that Minato marks Hashirama, and then like blitzes him, and then grabs him and throws him up, and then teleports back to him and keeps throwing him like over and over, like chain grabbing him until he throws him into space.
Like
and then
Smash
Hashirama
Bros. Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like right when he's about to get to the stratosphere, instead of throwing him, he throws a kunai into outer space and like switches him or something.
Yeah,
Bro.
And then Minato just safely teleports back to the ground so he doesn't, fall and die.
Is that everything? I don't know. What else do you say?
Yeah. So again, it's like if we're being honest, yeah, Hashirama probably wins. He's definitely presented as stronger, and like Madara and Hashirama seem like they're kind of presented as like this whole like other level. But I think that there are multiple arguments that you can use. I think the strongest ones are like teleportation hacks, obviously combined with sealing jutsu hacks.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here, 7-6, and.
So huge shout out to Saf6 and Swagkage. Make sure you check out their channels. Link they're gonna be in the original video of this. So could Minato beat Hashirama by Swagkage? But yeah, like I said, very good discussion and good video by them. Now it's pretty obvious who's gonna win, but it's kind of interesting to hear these discussions and like ideas that people have to make up about the others, just to see who would end up winning. Hiruzen was more scared of Minato because he didn't want him to see the conditions Naruto was living in. On God, dude did not take care of his son for shit. Like, what was Kushina's dying words? Please take care of our boy. Dude gives him rotten milk, lives him by himself, not even in like a little orphanage, if you will, with other kids to interact with, just all by himself. Shows up once a month. Here's rent money, blah blah blah. Like, it's so stupid. Answer is simple. Part 1, Kishimoto meant to have the 4th Hokage as the strongest. Part 2, he changed his mind and decided to build a story around Hashirama. True. And the Uchiha, to be honest. A's speed being equal to Minato's is a reference to their regular speed, not Minato's flying Raijin. Minato has flying Raijin, so people tend to assume his regular speed isn't also off the charts. True. Like, in the fight versus B, we could see Minato. I'm getting all these names mixed up. What the fuck? I could see Minato basically flick the kunai as A's about to punch him and flick his kunai and react to A's top speed before A could punch Minato. Then he just teleports away. Oh boy, it's the strongest Hokage Hiruzen, the god of shinobi. But the only one that has ever surpassed him was the strongest Hokage, Minato, the Yellow Flash. But the one to eclipse them both was the strongest Hokage, Hashirama Senju. Oh, Tobirama was the smart, I guess. Hashirami's body is known for giving people instant regen, durability, and power boost. With his cells alone, you get crazy amp. Oh god, like literally everything in Naruto was such a freaking broken hacks ability. How to get your dick bigger, Hashirama cells. How to grow hair, Hashirama cells. How to regen everything, Hashirama cells. It was even said to boost your physicality, so I highly disagree that Hashirama's power isn't as durable. I agree too. Like, there's no way that he wasn't like, and he was instant regenning, so there's no way he hasn't have any durability feats. Naruto's answer to everything: Rasengan, Hashirama, tree, Hashirama cells. Minato teleports to the Buddha statue away. Hashirama, well, what exactly are you going to do with that second Buddha statue? This is a reference to the for those of you guys that know, this is a reference to the fight between Madara versus the Shinobi Alliance. Because Hiruzen knew he would already have his hands full dealing with the first and second Hokage, he definitely couldn't handle having Minato there as well. However, that doesn't mean Hiruzen thinks that Minato is stronger than Hashirama. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I don't think that's what they were implying in the video. The first two were already summoned, he couldn't stop it, but he had enough time to stop the third summoning. Yep. He doesn't have that much durability, and he's deflecting those attacks with his wood style for a reason. Well, obviously, why would he? Yo, I love the comments in these guys' videos. Well, obviously, why would he allow himself to get hit just to prove he has superior durability? Yeah, man. Come on, Swag, 6, and 7. Like, even if they do have good durability, you don't hit yourself unless you're trying to flex on someone. I didn't see anyone say this, but in the anime, Naruto was never impaled by Sasuke's Amaterasu. All of the shadow clones were impaled and instantly disappeared. Yeah, I don't know. I think Swag has like a different remembrance of the anime or show or whatever. Maybe in the manga they did it, but like in the anime, when Swag was talking about Naruto getting his lung cut out, he didn't get his lung cut out. Sasuke Shidori'd Naruto. He was going for the heart, but Naruto like deflected the shot last second, so went for the shoulder. And then after that, he instantly regen with the Nine Tails ability. And then like this comment says as well, Sasuke never Amaterasu the Naruto. It was just his clones. But technically Naruto did feel all those pains because we know Naruto can feel it when the clones disappear. So I'm sure you felt something. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the video. What else you think I should react to. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, trigger the bell so you know the next time I upload a video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.